Greetings, everybody. The usual line is here. I'm from Victoria, and I'm here to help. Doesn't get laughs anymore. I'm retired. I'm not from Victoria. I'm the former Assistant Deputy Minister responsible for real property for the province of BC. Used to be BC Buildings Corp. And my name is Michael Blaschuk. I've worked in recovery and rebuild and new builds and fund projects overseas as the Director General for Foreign Affairs, as the Director General for Public Works in Ottawa. But the most fun I'm having is right now, quite frankly. I've been on the site for myself and my partner Dawn for about 4 weeks. It's been a busy 4 weeks. If it looks like the site looks like that duck that's floating out there, there's a lot of paddling going on underneath that right now. And we're going to tell you a little bit what's going on, what's going to go on, and some changes we're putting in place to get things moving faster. Because I'm not happy with the pace. I've never been happy with the pace of any project. So that's not unusual, but this needs to go faster. People need to get back into their homes. People have passed not getting back into their homes. So I'm here by an unusual circumstance. You'll see me riding around in my overly noisy red Harley, because I'm retired and I can do whatever I want now, and riding with a group of vintage people on vintage bikes, let me put it that way. And the bike in front of me failed coming down the hill. And I stopped. And we're looking around, I go, oh my God, what a mess. Someone should be doing something about this. And then the bike started. So that's why I'm here, because the bike started. I got the message. Technology right at the start, okay. Who's my page down person here? I just need, which one? I'm going to jump right into this because that's what we're doing right now. We're jumping into stuff to try and get things moving quickly. I've got half a screen, so I only have to speak for half as much time now. So our key strategies on this, and it clearly came from Mayor and Council. We're doing this thinking of the broader community, right? It's not, oh, what are we doing for the village of Lytton? It's what are we doing for the community? That's been clear, and we partner with the community, and we work as thinking the community, and we do everything for the best of the community. That's my clear, everybody wants to know what my instructions are? That's what they are. Up, higher, more, okay. We're doing stuff with openness and transparency. Councils had to make decisions without enough information. We got to get that information. So one of the first things we've done is the former mill office out there. We've got it. We've got a lease on it. We started getting it ready. The upper floor will be village office temporary. The downstairs is the recovery office for the duration of the project. It's open door. You can come in there. All the stuff we're doing is on the walls. It's clear. If you've got a challenge with something, come in and see us. Say, here, this is my property. This hasn't been cleaned. This hasn't been done. We can start tracking that. If you say, I don't understand why this services isn't in here. Well, here's where the services are going. Here's where the schedule is. You're able to come down. What one of the elders said earlier today was, you can't just come into town, do this, and try and do this from somewhere else. So I've towed my daughter's 8x16 travel trailer. It's parked up the hill. I'm here as long as you want me. I'm here 4 days a week, at least 4 days a week. I coach Special Olympics. I have to come back for a coaching Special Olympics thing I have to come back for in White Rock, and then I turn around and I come back. I have a cabin in Loon Lake. I've been going through Lytton since I was a kid. I miss my sandwiches at the deli. I need that deli built because I need my sandwiches back. It's still going there. What else are we doing here? We're partnering. We're reaching out to people who reached out to us a year or two ago, and we never got back to them. So today, it's been a bit of a crazy day today. We're doing this. We also have the City of Kamloops out here. City of Kamloops is going through what we need to do to get our services lined up. Okay? And we met with them after this and doing this. That's the corner group figure out what are we going to do. So they come back, they said, we're going to give you 3 options. You're going to have them in the next 2 weeks. We're going to cost them out for you. We're going to make the contractors available to you under their existing RFPs. We don't have to go out for 2 weeks or 2 months for an RFP to come back. And they're going to help us manage that so we can get services turned on ASAP. So you'll be able to start building. So you should start getting your permits ready. We'll give you, within about 2 weeks, we'll have you a timeline on when we expect the services to be fully on. I'm going to bet October, November, full on. We'll see when they come back, but that's just my own bet right now. It'll depend on what sort of options we pick on what services we're going to put in place, and whether we do some redundant ones, and as well as doing that, okay, taking a project management approach. It'll be different than it was. I'm going to tell you that. We've restructured the project manager, so there's a project executive board led by the mayor, led by councillors who are on it, led by the chief admin officer that knows exactly what's going on in the project. They are the one who we serve. That's our project sponsor. To them, they have an advisory committee that includes invitations have been sent out to LFN, Ministry of Transport, TNRD, to be there advising them at the senior level. At the same time, we restructured a project management board, project management team that we should have had and we're going to have now, and that's myself and Don. Don's the funny-looking guy right in front of me here who's with the sunglasses on his head. So we worked together on projects everywhere for 15 years. We're good friends and we're good partners in doing this stuff. So we've restructured, so he's on that, and we've reached out to our operational partners again, LFN, transportation, Pacific Camp, like everybody who needs to be giving us advice. So we're coordinating this and getting it done properly. You know, quite frankly, you don't be doing a cleanup and not have started doing your site services, right? You're there. So I can't fix the past, okay? My dad always used to say, there's a good reason a rear view mirror is smaller than the windshield, because you're supposed to be looking at the windshield. We'll keep an eye on the rear view mirror, we'll hold people to account, whatever, but I have to tell you, we gotta get it moving. And so that's what we're doing. Your boil water advisory, if you haven't seen the notice, came off 2 days ago, okay? That's been on for 7 months. It took your own team, couple phone calls to get people finally to come up from Vancouver. I think Don was wrestling stuff. You're off your boil water advisory. That was like a week or 2 to get done. 6 or 7 months, not good. Okay. So I talked about governance, funding, financial monitoring. The rumor, we're out of money. We are not out of money. Okay. I'm going to tell you that there is lots of money. What happens is you get sometimes in a funny cash flow situation because the reporting wasn't done. The reporting needed to get done, and the reporting has got done. So we met with the MCR. Myself and Don have worked out an arrangement to get the reporting in. We finish our reports, the funding will come. And we have enough funding. This isn't a big breather we have to take. It's mostly, would have taken it anyways because we have to clean up some contracts. We're very, very much out of contract scope. We can't ask the province to give money when you're asking for change orders that are larger than the original contract. So we're able to fix those. And I think we've got most of that solved. And we just need to continue better monitoring and reporting. So we're asking for the existing contracts that were out there that need to get paid. We need to make certain what was the scope of work? We're not paying twice for something. Did the deliverables get met? So we're holding people's feet to the fire a little bit on that one. And again, key message is collaboration. We're working with everyone. That's how we do it. That's how we've always done it. We're not in silos. Silos are the worst way to do things. So, the next page. That one? Okay, I can do that. So as everybody can read here at a small type if you come close. No, I'm not asking you really to do that. But I couldn't find a Gantt chart, and you should have something. And I'm going to talk about each of these. But essentially, up to now, this is what your resources have been focused on. Site cleanup, remediation, archaeology. We're not stopping it, but it is going to start tapering off. Where we shift, we've been doing a little bit with utilities, a little bit with housing, business, and the government stuff. So now we start shifting. big emphasis for us right now is getting those services and utilities going, okay? I don't want to lose a building season, I really don't. Getting the emphasis on the housing, what we can do. We've got a few creative ideas on getting the stuff that you need built, but different models to bring in that'll help. I spent about 4 years with BC Housing as the Vice President of BC Housing before the stuff you saw on the news. That wasn't me, absolutely wasn't me. So that's our focus, and we start ramping up to start working with business. I have a few ideas on what we can do there, and we start ramping up and getting sort of what are the needs. And it's not, oh, we're going to design a town hall for you. We're not going to design a town hall for you. You're going to design a town hall for you. Our job is to bring community. This is your project. That was the message. It's like people come from out of town and tell us what we're going to do. We're not telling you what you're going to do. We're going to help you do it. And then we're going to eventually start ramping up with the government services. And we're going to look at how do you combine multi-purposes. I don't know why you can't have a town hall with a dance studio in the basement. We're going to think about stuff like that. And you just got to work with your groups and think a little bit out of the box and do something prepare to do something a little different. One of the jobs I had to do, and I love doing it, I built the Canadian Embassy in Berlin, Germany. It was built between the inner and outer walls. It was the killing zone when it was a divided country. So we put the embassy right there. But it's also the only embassy with a Mexican restaurant, because what's more Canadian than a Mexican restaurant? But we put residences in there so people can live. We put businesses in there that support the community, and we brought it back. And it's those sort of models that we like bring, finding ways to partner and create unique solutions. So what are we doing right now? We're accelerating progress. So it might not look like it, but I can't keep a undefined scope going. I've got to get a defined scope settled. Everyone's agreed, okay, that's what we're doing. I can't get the money unless I do that. We're reviewing the results of various reports because people need to be able to report to us what was actually done. We're seeking expert advice on go forward. That's why City of Kamloops is here today. And we're taking more of a risk-based approach. You have to do that. You can't look at every grain, every minutia. You've got to actually, sorry.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. We've just had a message from the school here. The buses need to come in shortly to pick up students, and the parking lot out there is jam full. Apparently the buses can't get through. So at the front of the school where it loops around, if you have a vehicle there, it needs to be moved. Thank you. Where to? Out on the highway? No, not on the highway. Out on the road, if possible. I don't know if there may be some, yeah, lots of parking downtown. There may be some spots out here, but please, in order to use this facility, we need to they need to accommodate us, right? So we need to make sure that we are allowing them to get their buses in.
So I'll be really quick then. Utilities, as I said, we're right now working with the City of Kamloops to help us scope this out. In about a week or two, we get the scope. We're able to know where we're going to go with that. And we're accessing public procurements. There's enough out there. We don't have to do a 2 or 3 month RFP season that we now, as a result, lose a season of work. We've reached out to BC Housing. I used to be the VP there, as I mentioned. Again, not at the wrong time. We're meeting with them next Friday. The new vice president worked for me. We're going to sit down and see what they can do to help us. There's a lot of stuff they can do. Myself and Don have worked with housing projects. We have 2 RHI CMHC ones in US that we're told are going to be successful, are going to happen because they were done the way they were done. So we're also coordinating support. We're going to leverage some temporary housing. We know there's some units out there. And we're going to investigate some new models because there are different ways. We know people didn't have insurance. Well, but they have equity. Maybe there's a way to leverage equity to create, a sort of a different model that their equity prepays their lease or something. We're going to work with everyone to find out their situation and what's the best options that we can recommend to them so they can make their decisions on how they want to be housed. We're going to work on collaborating with business. Again, we want to investigate alternate models to provide space. Being able to get people in who want to invest. We've got some, key things, like we've got the bank wants to come in, but they don't want to own a building. That's a AAA tenant. There's people who will build a building to get a AAA tenant in. So how do we get them to build a bigger, better building that gets a lot more of us in? How do we work with local First Nations? There's great opportunities to partner on a form of public-private partnership that we could put in place here. And we've done those. Myself and Dawn have done private-public partnerships where they make sense. Again, taking a community-based approach is always what we're doing, and we want to play a coordinating role. You know, is there ways that we got 4 buildings want to go up around the same time? Okay, let's coordinate with getting the cement together. We're going to need how much gravel? Let's dump all the gravel we're going to need in one site and have it all come out at the same time. We know we've got building materials here that are coming from Lillooet, and everybody's going to make their own individual trips to get that. Why don't we find a way to stockpile some of it here so people can get at that stuff right away? Government services and facilities, we're partnering with other levels of government. Feds have what they will fund. The province has what they will fund. Sometimes there's overlap. We'll make certain we structure the overlap so we don't miss money. We want facilities that not just support what you had, but a future for Lytton. What are you going to need? I mean, think about it. You're going to be the first new village in this area. That's going to be really attractive. You know, my daughter lives in Kamloops. She came out to help me clean up the mill office, and she says, I could live here. Okay, she's got a 3-year-old and 5-year-old. She says, I could live here. That's that's 34-year-old saying, I could live here. And that's what we want to have. And so, again, open and transparent process on scope and design. You need to be involved in designing your own. It's not, don't take, we're going to take Campbell River's model and apply it here. No, you take Lytton's model and you apply it in Lytton. And we're trying to find ways to get multi-purpose, because the way the funding works, we can usually get funding for the building. We just have to make certain that we are creative enough that we solve more than one situation with our funding. So being flexible with that. And Don's, he's disappeared. He's the magic man with getting funding. He's got me I think over $100 million in funding on projects in the last little while. He knows how to do it. So my name's Michael Blaschuk. My partner's Don Wong. We're now set up in the recovery office downstairs in the former mill site. Monday through Thursday, I'm pretty well there most of the time. Look for the red truck or the red Harley. I'm there. Drop in. You can drop in anytime. It's not a closed office. The office is open. Everything we're doing is on the walls. It's open and transparent. You can see it. You send anything to recovery manager at Lytton, that goes to Don. We both tried answering the mails at the same time. That didn't work. So Don answers them and he says, this is over to you, Mike. You deal with this. This is over to me. We divide the work and we get along pretty well. And more than one person has visited me in my trailer already. So if you see that little trailer at the top of the hill, the poor guy looks like he's baking in the sun there. I got the air conditioning working. So drop in. I'm there in the evening. I'm usually there, to be honest, on my chair having a beer. Come in, say hi. If you want to talk about that, something there, come and talk to me. You want to come to the site, come to talk to me. You want to send an email, come and talk to us. Okay. So that's my presentation. I don't know. Should I add anything else? Move your cars. No. But if anyone has any questions, I'll try and answer. If I can answer, I'll answer. If I can't, I can't. Something that happened 3 months ago, I can't. All I can do is try and fix that, okay? I can try and fix it now. I can't fix what happened, why it happened 3 months ago. I don't know why it happened 3 months ago. Okay. Oh yeah, the PowerPoint, I'll put that up on our site so everybody can go through it. Gives you sort of a schedule. This will get more detailed because there should be a full Gantt chart. Everything lines up. There was good, the village did great work about 2 months ago on assembling what needed to get done. We're just going to take that, repopulate it, assign, my boss used to sign, put it there. We're going to put the name beside who gets hung if it isn't done, okay? That's what's going on there. What the schedule is, people can go there, the chart is there. It says May, why is this not done? Why is that one red? Well, because it's late. You're going to come in and see it, okay? You shouldn't have to try and wait for the information to come to you. we have to be way more open. So again, it's your office. Drop in. It's your office.
Thank you, Mike. So let's give him a round of applause. So as he mentioned, Mike and Dawn have been with us with the village for 4 weeks now, right? And I like to say that they've got more done in 4 weeks than we have in the last year and a half, or the village has. So they hit the ground running when they started, and you can see by the things that they've done and that they're going to be doing, and it's just so appreciative. And on behalf of the organizing committee, they would like to present you with a little gift for speaking this afternoon.
All right, thank you
So
very much.
thank you.